Hey guys, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. Before we do though, I'd like to take a minute to ask you to please hit that thumbs up button, the subscribe button, and that notification button. So that way you get notified of every new video that we make. And it's also a free way of supporting the channel. So go ahead and do that. Today, we're going to talk about a Linux distribution that's very difficult to install. Probably one of the hardest ones to install out there, but I found a way to install it in anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And it's great. Legitimately great. So let's go ahead and roll the intro and then we'll get into that. All right, so you get back to me again, and the first thing I would like to say about this is we're talking about installing Linux from scratch with the LFS. Yep, literally Linux from scratch. It's called LFS EXTON. It's from the EXTON Linux distributions. It is maintained, so there's the Swedish Linux projects is what actually this is listed under, and I'm going to take you to their web page, but I want to get to the web page first, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you this web page. All right, so let's go ahead and get to, there we go. So this is the EXTON Linux web page. I think it's some people say it's confusing, but that I've showed it to, but I think it's okay. So the Swedish Linux, which by the way, the Swedish Linux is actually in our Discord server. So if you get a chance, pop in over there to the Discord server and let him know how amazing these projects are of his, because the XJet video that I just did was his, and now he's done an LFS in an easy way. Like this is his. So this is fantastic work that he's done. And I just want to bring a spotlight to it because truthfully, people need to know about this. This is a fantastic project that he's been doing. So he's got all these different distributions. The LFS EXTON is down at the very, very bottom. These are, by the way, these are all projects from Raspberry to Android to, he's got Arch on here. He's got, you know, everything made easy. It's insane. Gentoo made easy, all of it. So, and Debian as well. Right here is the EXTON, LFS EXTON right here. This is the one we're looking at. So when you click on it, it'll take you to the LFS EXTON live installable Linux system built from scratch, which can run on all computers with kernel 6.06. So he's building it on more older, stabler kernels. I don't know if it's going to get any update anytime soon. Hopefully he does. One of the things that he likes to mention is that the LFS EXTON Build 22.11.03 runs on all computers, i.e. new and old ones, EUFI or non-EUFI computers. So he's gone and made that absolutely wonderful. It uses a Refracta installer to install it. MPlayer, note about MPlayer, one of the notes he says here is note about MPlayer: to be able to play videos and not just hear sound, you have to install AA-lib. Very easy install, just follow the instructions. He's got the instructions right here. When you click on it, it takes you right here to install the AA-lib. One thing that you do need to know about the EXTON, the LFS, is that it comes with no package manager. So that being said, that means that you're either going to have to install a package manager or you're going to actually have to build everything from source, which is the traditional way of doing it in LFS. So that would mean that you would navigate to the GitHub, the GitLab repositories of said project that you want to download, whether it be GIMP, OpenSUSE, whatever. I mean, not OpenSUSE, OBS Studio, or, you know, Kdenlive or LibreOffice or whatever it may be. You have to go to their repository, their source code hosted sites like GitHub or GitLab, clone it, CD into it, make it, install it, all that good stuff. And usually those places tell you how to do it. But as a result, you don't have a package manager. That's something to note. But other than that, this is actually LFS, and it's got a desktop environment completely installed as traditional Linux from scratch is basically a TTY. Your basic Linux, and then you install everything, literally everything, from the terminal to to where it's not like a vanilla Arch install. So it has a Refracta installer, which I will tell you it's very simple to use. But there is one thing in these distros, I don't know if it's something that he needs to fix, because in the distro itself, once it comes to the part of installing the bootloader, and you say to install the bootloader on the MBR or whatever, and then you go to click the copy files, it gives an error every time because it fails to build grub. For some reason, you have to chroot and build grub. So I will hit up the Swedish Linux and let him know. I don't know if it's something that needs to be fixed in his script or something, his install script or what. But anyway, if you want to download this today, right now, as it stands, and install it using the Refracta, you're going to have to chroot and rebuild grub. And then after that, just exit, reboot, and you're good to go. It comes with the LXDE and Light DM as your greeter. Desktop LXDE is not really maintained. It's actually very feature complete, actually. And it is since been left, and now those devs and a few other devs from another project combined to make LXQT desktop. LXQT. And that's what they've made. So that being said, this is an older, lightweight desktop, extremely lightweight, that functions really well. It's not bad at all. And if you want to install it on USB, it tells you how to do it right here. And this is what the login looks like. And if you want to install it using a Refracta, here is all how you can do it right now. When asked to chroot and install grub, right here is what it tells you. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual in my virtual machine. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so this is it right here. This is me getting installed into just booting it up into the things. This is what you're greeted with. There's no countdown, but if I go and I hit boot to hard disk, here's the grub. We're going to go ahead and log into it. It's going to give you this wonderful wall of text. And as soon as it's done running all these scripts in the background, it's going to give me an error. But it's because I think it's on virtual machine. It's trying to load some stuff that is not available on virtual machine. But not to worry, you're going to be able to get into it anyhow. And here's where it said it gave me that error. So I'm going to hit enter to continue. And now I can just put in my super secret password, and I'm into it right now. This is legitimately LXDE on LFS. So, but what I want to show you is, let's open up the terminal and let's run top. Let's go ahead and make this bigger and increase the font size for you guys. I want to point out something. This is top, which is a system monitoring tool that is available. You got top, H top, B top, probably LXQT top, all these different types of tops, but they all do the same thing. They all monitor stuff. There's also MV top, which is another one. I did a whole video on that one. That's really cool. That one's for your graphical GPU. Top is a tool that allows you to monitor your system and find out what's running where and doing what. You can kill it. You can do whatever you want with it. Well, in top, I want you to see that we're running a grand slam total of 166 processes. Only one is running. 165 of them are sleeping. And I'm only using 12.6 megabytes of RAM. That's how insanely light this is. This is so insanely light that you could put it on your potato laptop's grandfather's potato laptop and run it. You could probably put this on a 386 and run it. It's insane. This is so light. It uses nothing. I'm using less than hardly a GPU core. And I have a lot of this, like, think 4 cores and 4 gigs of RAM. This is insane what it's using. It's amazing. I mean, if I open up Firefox, right? Well, let's do. Oh, shoot, I opened up 3 instances of Firefox, right? 3 instances of Firefox. I'm at 28 gigs, and I'm using like 6 gigs or 6% of my core. Let's go ahead and get rid of one of those. Let's open up, let's mouse pad. Okay. I'm at 22. Thunar, 22 and a half. What else? The shell is running right now, and the terminal. So that's like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 programs right there. MPlayer for sound and video. How about that? Or MPlayer. So there's 6. I'm at 22.7. Let's go for graphics. Let's do the image viewer. I'm literally opening up almost every program on here, and I'm stacking them so you can still see. I'm at 23.2, but I'm using about 7% of my CPU. Let's see. Dude, he's got Vim on here as well. Another text editor, 23.2. I mean, this is insane. Let's see. Internet, Firefox, programming, Emacs, icon browser, system tools. Let's load gparted. What the heck? Okay, can't do that. Well, wait, what if let me see if I can right click on it and it'll let me do it as administrators. Well, let me do the command. No, probably not. Okay, so let's try something else. Let's try the Refracta installer. Okay, so because I want to take a look at that here in a minute anyhow. 23.7, I've opened up pretty much every application on this thing, and I'm at 23.7. Now, if I go into one of these text editors and I type, there we go. I'll type in a mouse pad because I don't want to set up Vim. I'm just doing some funky typing right now to kind of give it some use, right? So it'll, right about here, I should be getting to where I'm going to start getting a little, and that's with me having three of these open. Yeah, so there, it didn't even do much. I mean, I'm typing and typing, and nothing. I mean, it's just lightweight as hell. So yeah, we're not going to save anything. We're going to close out of all of this stuff because I want to show you the actual installer. We're going to close out of this. And so I want to show you the installer so you guys can see. So it's right here on the blue. Now, understand this is a live CD. This is not a live CD. This is installed. But when you boot into the live CD, you see literally the same thing. You install, you click on it right here. So I want to do my password for TLT, which in the Refracta is not in the sudoers file. Okay. So, okay, how about this? Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to reboot into the actual, where we go into the live CD, and we'll walk you through it. So let me pause this real quick. Okay, so all I've done is rebooted it and gone into the live CD. The only difference with what I did before is I went down to boot from hard disk. This would be as if I had the CD or the bootable USB still in the computer and doing that. So now it's going into the actual Refracta boot CD. I'm hitting enter once again, but because it's going into the boot CD, it's going to be a little slower. So now you notice the LFS user, and so the password is Linux all lowercase and then $$. And now you're logged in. So now you hit the Refracta installer, which is a blue download arrow, and it gives you this Refracta EUFI bootloader, and it will tell you this utility is installed running live CD or live USB onto your hard drive. This is free software, comes with no warranty guarantee, yada, yada, yada. So you're going to hit continue. So then it's going to say, warning, GrubPC is not installed, but you booted into BIOS mode. If you have the GrubPC dev packages, you will need to give a chance to install them into the new system. I'm like, okay, so we're going to hit continue. So now these are your options, all you can pick from to make. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a separate boot partition, and then you're going to want to leave everything else as is. You shouldn't need to do anything else unless you want to make your own home partition in the partitioning scheme. So, but we're not going to do that for the sake of simplicity, and for the sake of this video, we're just going to leave it this way. So you create a separate boot partition, you hit OK, and then you're going to get greeted with this. This is your disk stuff. This is going to tell you, this is kind of like your LSBLK, but it's showing you what's there. Now, VDA1 and VDA2 are the ones that I've already made when I first did it. On a virtual drive, it'll just be VDA, period. That's it. There's no partitions done because it's a raw drive. So we're going to hit close on this. So what you're going to choose is you're going to choose your favorite partitioner. Now, Gpart is a graphical user one, but it's very feature complete, but it's not as, to me, as powerful or flexible as CF disk. So we're going to click CF disk. This is what CF disk looks like. If you've ever used F disk or G disk, this looks the same. The only difference is it's CF disk. It's another way of doing it. So as you can see, I have these two partitions, VDA1 and VDA2. VDA1 is the bootable partition that you got to create. And notice it's only 512 megabytes. That's it. That's all you really need. Then the rest of it could be the rest of it. And the way you set this up is you go, and we're going to mock through. I'm not going to write it, so it won't make any changes. But what's going to happen is you're going to get here. It's going to have just your total free space. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take, and you are going to want to make a new. It'll have a choice where bootable's at. It'll be for a new partition. You select new. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go to type, and you're going to pick Linux, right? Then when you're all done with that, you hit enter. Okay. Then you're going to go when you're making the bootable one, how to give you see where underneath boot there, where it's got that asterisk at, which I mean to be right here, right? What you're going to want to do is you want to go over here once you assign it the size, because it's going to ask new, then the size. You're going to type in 512M. Then you're going to go, once it creates it, it's going to go to type, pick Linux. Then you're going to go here where it says bootable here, and you're going to mark it bootable to make it flagged as bootable. That's it. When you're done, you're going to go over here and you're going to hit write. That will apply those changes. Then it's going to drop down. It's going to less the 512 megabytes from the total disk space that's available, and it's going to leave the rest of it as free space. You're going to arrow down to it. You're going to select it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to hit the new partition again because there's free space. You're going to hit new. Then you're going to go back to type again. You're going to make it Linux, just like we did before. Only this time, that's it. You're not going to do the bootable flag or anything like that. You're just going to leave it at that, and then you're just going to go, and you're going to hit write. And then it's going to make that partition. Once you're done, you're going to get greeted with this thing that you just made a partition, yada, yada, yada. And it's going to want you to select the next thing what you want to put into that partition. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. We're going to pretend like we're done here. What? Terminal window installation is not finished. Do not close this terminal window because installation is not finished. We're going to go here. Let me see if I can get here. Okay, so I'm going to have to restart it because I did something. I clicked on the X on accident. Oh, right here. So once you close out of that, because you're done doing the partitioning, it's going to ask you to select the partition for boot. You're going to select VDA1. You're going to click OK. Then you're going to hit OK. Then it's going to ask you to what format you want it to be. You're going to hit OK. So then it's going to ask you for the partition for your operating system, VDA2. And then you're going to hit OK. Then again, it's going to ask you for the file system that you want, ext4. Okay. And so then now it's going to want to proceed with installation. Now, I am not going to do this right now because I don't want it to write anything to those partitions because I have it installed. At the end, it's going to ask you it's going to go through and install all the image onto those hard drives and those partitions. When it comes to the boot drive, it's going to ask you to copy the boot files to there. Most people are going to want to hit copy the boot files, and it's going to do that. You want to do that. Hit that copy those files. Once you hit that copy those files, and it's done copying them, it's going to finish and it's going to error and say that it didn't install grub. So at that point in time, you're going to have to chroot into the system. Now, Post that, I think it gives you the option to Chroot and fix it. Hit that there. If not, no big deal. All you do is you go into the terminal and you type the Chroot commands. Now, I'm not going to go into that right here because you should be able to look it up. What are the commands to Chroot, which is mounting, processes, bin, and a couple other folders I can't remember. But anyhow, you can find them. If not, leave a comment down below and I could actually drop a link in the video or put it down in the description. Actually, I think I will do that. I'll put them in the description, the commands that you would type into terminal to Chroot to get into the system. Then once you do that, then you do the sudo make config, and then for grub, and which I'll have that command in the description as well, and then you're good to go. It'll do its thing. You type exit, you bounce out, reboot, and then you've got your functioning LFS done the Exton way that is legitimate LFX, and you could use it any way you want to it's very lightweight, it's very powerful, it's very flexible, it's a legit Linux system, just like the XGent is legit Gentoo on there, the Gentoo way, built the Gentoo way by the handbook and stuff like that. It's just amazing what this man has done with these projects. He put a Calamaris installer onto Gentoo. He put Refracta installer onto LFS and made it to where you're good to go, just like that. That is impressive. I have shown it to about 4 people, and they all said the same thing. Holy crap, that's impressive. What he has done is short of pretty much a miracle. You got to give credit where credit's due. All this man, the 2 projects that I've looked at so far that this man has done has been solidly impressive. So I'm simply saying, if you guys can jump into our Discord, look up the Swedish Linux in there, send them a, hey man, that's awesome work what you've done, because you know, it is. You know, I saw it on the Linux tube. I'm trying it out, and you know, just let him know, because I think these projects need to have a little bit more light given to him, because he's done a lot of work. He's got a lot of them. Go to his webpage, go to the Exton Linux. I'll have it in the description as well. Go there and check out all his stuff. I mean, because it's just nothing flat of amazing. Absolutely nothing flat of amazing. So either way, guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Also, if you've known this and done anything with these projects or used them before, let me know, because I'm just discovering them and they're great. If you're just discovering them, tell me which one you're excited to try and why. Other than that, y'all keep doing what you do. Keep on Linuxing. Stay blessed, stay safe, and I'll see you in the very next one.